Imagine finding out that the innocent splash of creamer you've been pouring into your morning coffee for years is quietly working against your heart meds, your blood sugar, and even your brain. And the companies selling it to you know it. Because the biggest health risk in most kitchens isn't the sugar jar or the dessert shelf, it's that colorful bottle in your fridge door covered in words like bliss, natural, sugar-free, and caramel macchiato, hiding a chemical cocktail behind comforting branding. And today, you're going to see exactly which creamers are wrecking your body, sip by sip, and the two simple swaps that actually respect your health instead of exploiting it. Let's start with a hard truth. Most mainstream creamers are not just flavored cream. They're ultra-processed products engineered to be addictive, cheap to produce, and shelf-stable for months, even if that means quietly gambling with your arteries, blood sugar, and gut. Once you see what's hiding behind those friendly labels, you'll never look at that morning swirl the same way again. First up, the classic that's probably sitting in more fridges than any other, Coffee Mate Original. The branding screams comfort and tradition, but under that warm, nostalgic image is a formula built around corn syrup solids, highly processed oils, and additives designed to make you forget you're not drinking real cream at all. Trans fats have been a huge concern here, historically from partially hydrogenated oils, because even tiny amounts per serving add up if you're pouring 2 or 3 tablespoons every day. Over time, that means more strain on your heart, higher LDL cholesterol, and a cardiovascular system paying the price for your smooth, rich cup. And the worst part? Labels can claim 0 grams trans fat as long as each serving stays below a threshold, even if multiple servings push you over what heart guidelines recommend for an entire day. Think about that. You take pills in the morning to support your heart, then wash them down with a product that quietly chips away at the very thing you're trying to protect. The creamy texture doesn't come from wholesome dairy. It comes from a blend of processed fats and emulsifiers like mono and diglycerides plus stabilizers that keep everything from separating. It's not there for your health. It's there so the product can sit on a shelf for months and still look perfect when you twist the cap. Number 8 is the one that smells like a bakery and hits like a dessert, International Delight French Vanilla. This bottle is practically weaponized nostalgia. Golden mornings, cozy breakfasts, that sweet vanilla aroma drifting up as you pour. But flip it over, and the story turns dark very fast. High fructose corn syrup is front and center, a cheap sweetener strongly linked to insulin resistance and metabolic dysfunction when used heavily over time. For anyone dealing with prediabetes or diabetes, that's gasoline on the fire. And the vanilla dream doesn't come from grandma's vanilla beans. It rides on artificial flavors and additives that exist solely to hack your brain's reward center, making you crave more sweetness day after day. Some flavoring compounds in this category have even raised serious safety questions in other contexts, especially when inhaled as vapors during manufacturing. Even though the amounts in a creamer are much lower, ask yourself, is it really worth dosing your lungs and throat every morning for fake vanilla perfume? Add in carrageenan and similar thickening agents that can irritate sensitive digestive systems, and the French Café Elegance starts looking more like a science project with a side of gut inflammation. Now, number 7 is the heartbreak for anyone who loves that nutty note, Coffee Mate Hazelnut. The label shows perfect hazelnuts and promises warm, indulgent flavor. But there isn't a single real hazelnut in the bottle, not one. The taste is just lab-created flavoring layered on top of sugar and processed fat. And then there's the real villain here, whitening agents like titanium dioxide that have been used in some creamers to create that bright, opaque look. This same type of compound has been used in paint and sunscreen, and its safety in food has been heavily debated, with some regions banning it outright in food products because of concerns over DNA damage and cancer risk in experimental settings. Even if regulators in your country still allow it, ask yourself, does your morning coffee really need the same kind of whitening chemistry used on walls and cosmetics just to look a little smoother and lighter? On top of that, the sugar load from corn syrup solids hits your bloodstream fast, rapidly boosting blood glucose in a way that's especially brutal if you're already fighting insulin resistance. At number 6, the trap that feels responsible, Coffee Mate Sugar-Free French Vanilla. This one feels like a smart move. Sugar-free, often in green or blue labeling, practically whispering, "Don't worry, you're being good." But the way it delivers that sweetness is where things go wrong. Instead of sugar, you get artificial sweeteners like sucralose and acesulfame potassium. Studies in recent years have raised serious concerns about how these sweeteners interact with the gut microbiome, blood sugar regulation, and metabolic health. Some research suggests they may actually impair your body's ability to handle glucose properly, exactly the opposite of what someone with diabetes or prediabetes needs. And there's more. Artificial sweeteners don't fix your sweet tooth, they train it. Your brain still gets that intense hit of sweetness, so your taste buds stay locked at dessert-level sensitivity. Real foods start to taste dull, black coffee tastes bitter, and your brain keeps demanding sweeter and sweeter flavors to feel satisfied. Meanwhile, thickeners like cellulose gel and carrageenan create that creamy mouthfeel while potentially contributing to bloating, cramps, and digestive upset in people with sensitive guts. So not only can this creamer make it harder to manage blood sugar, it can also leave you feeling physically miserable, while marketing itself as the safer choice. Number 5 looks like the healthy, eco-conscious option. Silk Sweet and Creamy Almond Milk Creamer. Plant-based, dairy-free, pretty carton, almonds on the front. It's basically designed to make you feel like a wellness influencer every time you pour. But zoom in on the facts. The almond content is often shockingly low, around a couple of percent, while the rest of the carton is mostly water, sugar, and gums. Each tablespoon can deliver a noticeable hit of added sugar. If you're using the typical 3-tablespoon morning pour, you're racking up around 15 grams of sugar before you've even eaten anything. That's close to half of what some health organizations suggest as a daily upper limit for added sugars for the entire day. And those reassuring gums, like Gellan gum and locust bean gum, might be labeled generally recognized as safe, but for many people with slower digestion, irritable bowel issues, or just sensitive guts, they can mean gas, bloating, and uncomfortable trips to the bathroom. The real sting? You're not even getting what you think you're paying for. Real almonds deliver vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats. This product gives you sugar water with a splash of nut flavor and marketing that leans hard on plant-based, as if that automatically equals health. Number 4 stays in the plant-based lane but wraps itself in premium coastal wellness branding. Califia Farms Hazelnut Almond Milk Creamer. The bottle is beautiful, the vibe is clean California lifestyle, and the price tag absolutely reflects that image. But inside, there's a different story. Sunflower oil shows up very high in the ingredient list, meaning you're getting a significant dose of industrially processed oil every time you pour. Once opened, these oils can start oxidizing, especially if the bottle hangs around in your fridge for weeks. Oxidized fats are not kind to your body. They're associated with increased inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which are linked to heart issues and cognitive decline over time. Then there's pea protein. It sounds healthy, but isolated pea protein can be harder to digest than whole food sources, causing bloating and gas for a lot of people. Add natural flavors, a legal catch-all term that can hide a cocktail of lab-engineered compounds, and you've got a product that looks minimal and clean on the outside while staying pretty opaque on the inside. Even reports of inconsistent texture and clumping between bottles hint at quality control issues. For something that markets itself as premium, you'd expect the inside of the bottle to live up to the image on the outside. Too often, it doesn't. Now we move into the true sugar bombs. Number 3, Dunkin' Extra Extra Creamer. This is the bring the coffee shop home bottle, decked out in the familiar pink and orange that instantly taps into years of drive-through memories. But what you're really bringing home is liquid dessert, not a simple creamer. Each tablespoon can carry around 6 grams of sugar. That means a heavy Dunkin'-style pour of 3 or 4 tablespoons turns your single cup of coffee into something close to a mini milkshake, easily hitting 18 to 24 grams of sugar in one go. Your blood sugar responds in exactly the way you'd expect. Sharp spikes, massive insulin release, then a crash that leaves you tired, irritable, and craving more sugar just a couple of hours later. For anyone managing diabetes or trying to keep blood sugar stable, that's a metabolic train wreck disguised as a morning treat. On top of that, phosphate-based additives used for texture and preservation add extra stress to kidneys, especially in people with underlying kidney issues. At number 2, the one that sounds like the good upgrade, Coffee Mate Natural Bliss Vanilla. The word natural is doing Olympic-level marketing here. The packaging shows milk, cream, and vanilla beans in a soft, warm aesthetic that practically whispers, simple, wholesome, real. And to be fair, the ingredient list looks cleaner than many of the others: dairy, sugar, flavoring. But cleaner doesn't automatically equal good for you. Each tablespoon still drops a solid sugar dose into your cup. Multiply that by the number of tablespoons you actually use, and you're right back in double-digit sugar territory before you've eaten anything. There's also the issue of lactose. Many adults gradually lose the ability to digest lactose efficiently, even if they tolerated dairy perfectly in their 20s and 30s. That means bloating, gas, and unpredictable bathroom trips that seem to come out of nowhere. Only they're not nowhere. They're from the natural creamer you keep trusting. Because this product relies on real dairy and fewer preservatives, it can also spoil faster than ultra-processed options, especially if refrigeration isn't perfect at every step from factory to fridge. Finally, number 1, the king of engineered indulgence, International Delight Caramel Macchiato. This is the full package. Caramel swirls on the label, coffee house fantasy in a bottle, all the treat yourself vibes without the cafe price. But look at what you're actually treating yourself to. Sugar sits right at the top of the formula, quickly backed by palm oil and an army of additives: sodium caseinate, dipotassium phosphate, carrageenan, emulsifiers, natural and artificial flavors, and caramel color. That caramel color isn't just brown sugar. It can include chemical byproducts that some health authorities flag as potential carcinogens when exposure is high and long-term. The first is an unsweetened, minimal-ingredient, nut-based creamer like Nut Pod's Original Unsweetened. Instead of relying on sugar and artificial flavors, it uses a simple blend of almond and coconut as the base, plus a tiny amount of stabilizer for texture. No added sugar, no artificial flavors, and no carrageenan. The real magic of something like this isn't just what it removes, it's what it helps you reset. When you switch to an unsweetened creamer, the first few days can be a shock if you're used to dessert-level sweetness in your cup. But stick with it for a week or two, and your taste buds recalibrate. Suddenly, those old, sugary creamers taste cloying and overwhelming. You start to actually taste the coffee again. Your brain stops demanding that syrupy hit first thing in the morning. And because you're not dousing your system with sugar spikes or artificial sweeteners, your energy throughout the day becomes more stable and predictable. The second worth it option is the one that almost feels too simple to be exciting. Real dairy, like plain half and half or heavy cream, used in small, intentional amounts if your body tolerates lactose. With basic dairy, you're dealing with a short ingredient list and fats that, in moderation, don't come attached to a long list of additives, stabilizers, and lab-synthesized flavors. No fake vanilla, no caramel color, no industrial gums, just cream. For many people who digest dairy well, a teaspoon or two of real cream is far less metabolically stressful than multiple tablespoons of sugar-loaded, flavor-engineered coffee creamer. And if dairy doesn't work for you, staying in the lane of unsweetened, short-ingredient, plant-based options is still miles better than the neon dessert bottles. If you're ready to break that quiet contract and take back your morning coffee, start by dropping the worst offenders from your cart and switching to something unsweetened and simple. Your coffee will taste more honest. Your body will stop getting ambushed before breakfast. And a year from now, you'll be glad you changed what you pour, even if nobody else ever sees that decision but you. If this opened your eyes to what's really hiding in your coffee, hit like, drop the creamer you're breaking up with in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the everyday foods quietly messing with your health.